Look out, Exxon. Apple is catching up with you very quickly. Exxon Mobil is still the most valuable company in the U.S. based on just stock market value, but Apple is number 2, and it's amazing to think that a company that only a few years ago was viewed as a niche PC company has passed Microsoft this year. It's ahead of Walmart, and it's got Exxon Mobil in its sights. That is now the only company that has a market capitalization worth more than Apple. So will Apple pass Exxon Mobil in market value anytime soon? Many of you actually said no. Brijesh Gadhia wrote, Apple's stock is overvalued when compared to Exxon. Compare the quarterly profits of Exxon compared to Apple and see the difference to better understand which company is better to invest. He's got a great point. Apple reported a $3.25 billion profit in its latest quarter. That's obviously not shabby. But Exxon's second quarter profit was $7.56 billion. So what you have there is clearly ExxonMobil is a bigger company than Apple in terms of profits, also in sales as well. So you do have to wonder whether or not Apple should trade at a market value that's higher than ExxonMobil. Others also think Apple doesn't have the legs that ExxonMobil does, since tech gadgets are more prone to fads than, say, oil.
iPhone.
Danila Prepeliak said, Apple's current stock value is based on fashion and trends, not actually on the quality of their products, so it's a bit risky to speculate on the future of such companies. Very good point there, especially since Apple did get hit not that long ago, the whole AntennaGate issue. I think that's probably a short-term problem for Apple, not something that's going to plague them for a long time, but it does raise the issue of whether or not Apple could have problems like that going forward, and investors could, dare I say it, pardon the awful pun, sour on Apple.
If you don't want an iPhone 4, don't buy it. Bought one and you don't like, bring it back.
Whitfield McRory Palmer, awesome name by the way, added that Apple's way of making money is a gimmick called planned obsolescence. Sooner or later, the masses either get smart or get bored. Apple will one day see its day of reckoning. Still, there's at least one reader out there who isn't bashing Apple. Ed Yoon says, Apple has way more room for blistering organic growth. Apple's share in the U.S. and global PC markets is still only 8% and less than 5% respectively. Apple still has a long way to go to catch Nokia and Research in Motion in the smartphone market. The tablet market is a new emerging market that Apple could potentially come to dominate in the same way they dominate the MP3 player market. I think Apple right now is certainly clicking on all cylinders. It defines the consumer electronics market right now. No one in their right mind would say that Research in Motion or Nokia has cooler products than Apple. So Apple most likely will supplant them in market share. And with that in mind, it wouldn't shock me if Apple leapt ahead of ExxonMobil in market value at some point in maybe later 2010 or 2011.